Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for the first in a series of ongoing installments that'll be on the channel throughout the year this year that I'm just simply naming 50 for 2023. And it's probably pretty obvious based on the name, but was giving some thought to how I want to approach collecting and the hobby in 2023. And there were a couple things that were obvious to me. First and foremost, I want to continue my trend of focusing on singles and directly purchasing the cards that I want for my collection versus ripping packs as much. I enjoy opening wax, but I like the satisfaction of the collection that I build when I target the cards that I ultimately want and make the most of my hobby dollars. So I know that, but unlike last year where I did a big fish and bought, a big significant card every month, I wanted to have a little bit more flexibility this year. But I wanted a basic framework to at least keep myself somewhat focused and try to prevent myself from drifting way too far off into the weeds in the coming year. So what I came up with is I spent a lot of time around the holidays and the end of the year, created a list of 50 single cards that I want to purchase in 2023 if I can. They range in value from cards that could be $10 only, up to a few $100s. There aren't many of those on there, maybe just one or two that are more on the expensive side and everywhere in between. Will I get all 50? Probably not. There may be a couple cards on the list that don't even surface in the year because they're rare enough that they just don't come up often. Some of them are specific cards, like the two that we're going to look at today. I have the first two in hand, and others I left myself some room for interpretation. For example, one of the items on the list is an authentic T206 card, probably graded. But it could be any player, it could be any grade, it could be by any grading company, really open to interpretation. So, but in today's case, I have the first two cards off the list, so we're gonna kick this off. And they're two of the cards that I was honestly the most excited about, even though neither one of them is expensive. These were both under $50, and I think they just look fantastic. They are from the 1951 Bowman baseball set, which is growing on me, by the day. When I was a kid growing up, I had 50 Bowman and 52 Bowman cards, just a couple of each, but I never owned 51, and I kind of overlooked it for a long time, just knowing that I won't ever own the Mickey Mantle or the Willie Mays. But I found two that I'm just ecstatic to add to my collection. They were on my list, and well-centered copies that I'm pleased with presented themselves in the early part of the year here. Here's the first one, Don Newcombe, pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers, a PSA 3. Look at that painting or colorized photo, just amazing. Every one of these, like everybody says when they show these, because it's just the truth, every one of these is a little vintage work of art. I just love the photograph here. I love the Brooklyn Dodgers cap. I love the random stranger in the background there wearing it almost looks like a Forest Rangers cap or something, or maybe that's Indiana Jones sitting up there. Just really, really great. You have the bullpen sign here to the right of Newcombe, and he's somebody who I kind of neglected for a lot of years. I just never focused on getting his cards. I'm still not, going to player collect him or anything, but he was an important pitcher throughout the 50s and an important member of those Brooklyn Dodgers teams that I just really, really love. I know a lot of collectors do. I've always said that if I could go back in a time machine, to see a sporting event from some time in our past, seeing a Brooklyn Dodgers game at Ebbets Field in the 50s would be probably number one on my list, certainly very high up there. So just love this card. It's graded a PSA 3 VG, but again, what I usually go for with these, great visual appeal and good centering, and this checks both those boxes all day long. We have a $50 price tag on here, but it was slightly less than that after some negotiating with the seller. And then here's a look at the back. Also very clean, just awesome. Great card number 6 in the set. And the reason the second card is paired together today with that Don Newcombe is it's also from the 51 Bowman set, as I said. It also features a Brooklyn Dodger. It is maybe, just going purely based on the artwork, on the card. It might be my favorite card in the entire set, aesthetically speaking. It is Chuck Dressen, Charlie Dressen, the manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Look at the artwork on this card. This one is in a PSA 5, and it was even less money than the Don Newcombe just because, you know, Dressen doesn't have as big a following probably. But this was like all about purely the aesthetics of the card here. Obviously, I am familiar with Dressen. I have some other cards of his since he was a staple, kind of staple throughout the 50s. But this is my favorite image on any card of his, hands down. It's not even close. I love the bright colors, the Dodgers jersey and cap, and then just him pointing out, you know, the lineup here that he's filled out. And this has been noted by others when they've shown this card, so I'm certainly not the first one to say this. But just here, right above his arm, you can see that it says Jackie Robinson. This is as close as you will get to getting a 1951 Bowman Jackie Robinson card. He is not in the set, but we do have this card with his name on it at least, and it's just super unique. I don't recall any other vintage card that shows a coach in a lineup displayed like this, and I just think the art is visually striking. I love the way it looks. I have swung and missed at this card like probably half a dozen times over the years, and so it feels really, really good to get a nice, strong-looking example like this in a PSA 5 into my collection after all this time. Here's a look at the back. Again, just like the Newcombe, clean, can read the entire write-up, but who are we kidding? This one is absolutely all about the front. So two 1950, early 1950s Bowman Brooklyn Dodgers there. Two cards that I'm so excited to get, and kind of examples of the types of things that I'll be chasing in the year 2023 here in the hobby. They won't all be this old. Some cards will be older than these. Many cards will be newer than these. All different sports, non-sports on the list. So again, I'll be doing a whole series of these videos throughout the year, every time I cross off a card or a few cards off the list, and I think it'll be fun to kind of follow along. So after today's video, we are at 2 out of 50, or 4% complete, and I'm sure I'll be back hopefully in the very near future here with a couple more off the list. But until then, I appreciate you stopping by. Stay safe and enjoy the hobby. Take care.